What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you are like me, you're starting to get a couple things up to level 90 and getting ready to begin your long and sad journey of watching many materia move to the great beyond through overmelding, of course. So in this video, we're going to talk about the fastest way to gain materia. Now, starting off in the video, we're going to talk about gathering and crafting just because they are pretty similar. And then the second half of the video, we're going to talk about your Disciples of War. So I'll probably put a timestamp down below for you guys. So if you're only interested in your damage class or tank healer or whatever, go ahead and click that second half of the video. But starting off for your gatherers and crafters, you're going to want to start out in Old Sharlayan. Now, in Old Sharlayan, just northeast of the teleport crystal that you go to, we have a little market district up here, and there are two vendors in particular. There is a tool supplier and an armor supplier. Now, the reason why these guys are pretty important is because if you were like me, at some point, you probably still had a lot of your old Shadowbringers gear on, possibly, which honestly is great for farming in the beginning of the game because you'll meet a few of the requirements, be able to gain more gatherers boons. But now that prices are starting to settle down a little bit more, you need to basically get out of that expansion worth of gear so you can start earning that new materia. So if you can't afford to have a full high quality set, like my wife happened to craft me because I suck at crafting, but there's vendors here that you can buy your gear from. Now, this gear is the same item level. It is the 560 brand new level 90 gear. The only difference is it is not high quality. And I don't think you'll be able to overmeld it either like you could with the crafted gear. But nonetheless, you should pick yourselves up a full set of the armor and your weapons from the tool supplier over there. There's not jewelry for sale, so that's a little bit of a somewhat disadvantage in this process. But if you happen to find anything on the market board that is cheap and affordable, that is high quality, I mean, I think I actually found my weapons before I got crafted gear made for me, and they were like 60k each or something like that. So I'm sure as the market board gets more and more flooded, you may see a couple things drop down within your price range that you are willing to pay for. And it's actually important that you do so because high quality gear over a normal quality gear actually gains 20% faster spirit bonding rate. Now, the other thing you need to look at is socketing all that gear. Now, it doesn't have to be the newest and greatest materia or even Shadowbringer stuff. If you just go on the market board and find just the biggest piece of poop materia that you can find, just socket it in there because every socket that you have in that gear also increases spirit bond at a rate of 20%. So, for example, this chest piece that I have, it's high quality, which means I get 20%, and it has two sockets that I've put materia in. So that's an additional 40%. So this piece will gain spirit bond for me at a 60% faster rate than just having a normal quality item with nothing in it. Now, on top of all of these gains right here, there's two things that you also need to look at. Now, if your FC does happen to have the rank 3 spirit bonding potions up or actions up, that's really good. I mean, a lot of people play solo. A lot of people don't have rank 3 buffs in their FC, which is perfectly fine. If you did your squadron missions at your Grand Company, you can also essentially earn the same buff through these squadron spirit bond manuals. These will increase your spirit bond bonus by +3. They will also stack with something that was introduced in the Shadowbringers expansion called Superior Spirit Bond Potions. The high quality versions of these will give you +6 additional spirit bonding, while the normal qualities will give you +5. So not too much of a difference right there, but still something to look at. And spirit bond. So here is the recipe for this. It's crafted at level 72 by Alchemy. Highland Spring Water, purple carrots, wolf fangs, and garden beets. So nothing too overly complex to get, and probably if you have anybody that can craft these for you, or you may be able to make them yourselves, I'm sure they aren't too expensive if you do a little bit of server hopping. So on top of all that, you have your gear, you have some materia in it, you're ready to start gaining some spirit bond on your gear. But in addition to that, there's something else that you could be doing. So let's head over to Rods at Han, because this is where we're going to start turning in items and collectibles to gain scripts for this expansion. Now, there are purple scripts, which are from the time to level 90 items that give you the level 10 materias, which are the highest ones available to us. But in the overmelding process that we're going to be seeing later, you're mostly going to be losing a lot of 9s. So for this video, let's just take a look at all of the white script items. Now, even if you're at a low level and you happen to just buy some low level of the Endwalker stuff off that vendor, maybe you didn't have max overmelded Shadowbringers, that's perfectly fine. You can start earning the new materia that way. You can find maybe something for level 81, 83, and just start farming up some of these scripts. So basically, if you just take all of that stuff out and you're focusing on collectability as high as possible and getting those collectibles to increase your spirit bond, you're also going to be getting these scripts at the same time. Now, once you have a lot of these scripts, you can visit on down to the next vendor here in Razathan to the script exchange. And once you visit the script exchange, simply pick either your crafter or gatherers and go to the materia section and white scripts. Now, the first 3 items here are your level 9 materias. They cost 250 white scripts each, so this is pretty much what we're going to be mostly focusing on. If you are interested in holding back some of those scripts because maybe you're not really needing a ton of the materia right now because you don't have full gear, there is another vendor that's down the line here that maybe you would be interested in spending some of your scripts on. The script vendor will also sell you regional folklore tokens, and if you spend those at the Splendors vendor, this will unlock all of your legendary ores, herbs, etc. So they do cost 16 each. That's 1,600 white scripts, which that's quite a lot in materia values, but if that's something that you want to unlock and just knock it out of the way right now, it's definitely something that you guys can do. As far as crafting goes, it works pretty much the same way. You guys will just buy your gear off the vendor, materia with whatever possible, and then have your potions with your rank 3 FC buff or squadron scrolls, craft items to turn in for your scripts, and then simply trade all those scripts in for your level 9 materia. So essentially you're just double dipping because you're going to be able to extract your materia off of your gear there, and then you're going to be able to buy stuff with the white scripts. Now, as far as the battle portion of this video, we are pretty much going to do almost the same thing. We are going to start off in Old Sharlayan if you happen to be a disciple of war. Actually, there's one other thing for you crafters that I forgot to mention. Your custom deliveries every single week, even the Shadowbringers ones, that is still something that you should be doing because you can pretty much cap out your white scripts at least one set every week, which is really nice. So that's something else you could probably be doing. It's probably not worth as much spirit bond rate because it's an older item, but the actual script part of it is definitely worth it. But back to the battle portion. Sorry, I jumped around there a little bit. But through some point in your main quest scenario there, you should have maybe headed up to this merchant, and it may be part of your role quest. So if you haven't done that, make sure you definitely do that. The merchant up here in Old Sharlayan, just north of that aetheryte crystal again, has pretty much free gear available to you just for hitting max level, similar to the way we did in Shadowbringers, I think, in that the Tempest zone there. So pretty much just pick up a full set of 560 for the left side of your character page here. Again, no jewelry, so that's something that you will have to eventually either buy or hopefully get some drops from dungeons. None of this is going to be high quality, so there's not going to be that extra 20% increased spirit bonding rate through there, but still socket it nevertheless to get that percentage increase, and still use your rank 3 FC buffs or squadron scrolls for +3 spirit bonding, as well as your superior spirit bond potions for the +6. As you do the 2 quests to unlock the level 90 dungeons for your expert roulettes, the vendor just northwest here of the Rods at Han vendor is where your tombstone exchange will be found, and you pretty much just want to be buying your accessories off of this guy as soon as possible. You're going to need this for your item level requirements for Zodiark, but just to be able to gain the higher level stuff and new materia, it's just all around a good idea to buy this with your first 2 dungeon spams as well as your first expert. And I did notice that a lot of the spirit gain was for the end boss of the dungeons, unless I was mistaken. So pretty much just spam out level 90 dungeons with all of your buffs up and your new gear on. And I'm pretty sure with potion and the scrolls, I might have gotten about 40% per expert. So that was actually quite a big gain in materia, and I'm sitting on quite a few of the level 9s from it, as well as the drops that you're going to get from the dungeon. So it's basically just a double dip there too. It's really good. If you happen to be a tank class or maybe get lucky at certain hours of the day, you could also get the bonuses from the leveling dungeon. Obviously, it's been tank for quite a while now, but there are the new Stella clusters here within game. The rank 10 you'll get one of, and the rank 9s you will get two of. Something else that everybody can do as far as materia gains is still your Wondrous Tales. A lot of you still have a ton of alts to probably level unless you somehow slept 0 hours for the past 7 days. But the Wondrous Tales, you're going to be wanting to use that to get XP on your alts as well as get the certificates. So the certificates off of that have a trade-in rate of, I believe it's 2 bronze. Let's take a look here. 2 bronze will earn me 2 cracked anthocrystals. They're not even clusters anymore, they're crystals. And then it could also earn you 4 of the rank 9 materias. So if you want either 4 of the rank 9s or 2 of the rank 10s, it just costs 2 bronze. So 2 weeks worth of turn-ins here on the Wondrous Tales. So definitely make sure you are still using that to level your alts. But other than that, guys, those are definitely the fastest ways that I have found for pretty much crafting, gathering, and your Disciples of War in order to get materia. If you found any other methods, feel free to share them down below with everyone else. And until next time, I'll see you later.